Hey guys, how you doing? This is Paul from MixYourSound, and today I'm going to show you a new plugin from SSL. The name is X Saturator. There is a bunch of plugins out there with saturation, but I think there's a few things here that I think it's interesting. Let's check. I have a session here. Let me play it back to you guys just a little bit. This is a song from Andy Butler. The name of the track is Each Other's Arms. And let's listen.
I still dream of you nearly every night, but no matter how hard I run, you just drift on out of sight. Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Okay, so let's check the plugin, yeah? This is it. X Saturator from SSL. I'm gonna solo the drums. Let me solo my track also. So let's check what this does. So drums, here we go, with it. Without. With. Okay, so what I'll do now, let me take the plugin out. I'm gonna open again the plugin SSL. Okay, by default, let me play it back so you can guys have a listen and check how it sounds. So straight away we can feel and we can hear that it sounds slightly different. It sounds slightly louder also, and that also helps to trick your ear, and for that same reason we think straight away it sounds better. But let's try a couple of things here. Let me loop the chorus, and I will try to match the levels all the time. So what I'm saying is that all the time the output will be exactly the same as the input, just to have a reference and we know exactly how it sounds without sounding louder. So here we have basically, let's break out the plugin, input fader, output fader, dry and wet, drive, add distortion, take out distortion, harmonics, second and third harmonics, depth, and shape. So 6 dB headroom, and for what I read, this plugin works almost as a, if you put it along the whole mix, works as a console, almost like VTM from Steven Slate. But now let's have a listen. Let's check how it sounds. Here you go. Let me just bring to 0. This was by default 50. Yeah, that's it. Here we go. Okay, straight away it sounds louder. I'm gonna match the level here. It's not too much, but around probably a couple of dBs. Yeah. So if I drive, yeah, I push the drive here. Okay, I'm pushing in a very crazy way. But anyway, I'm adding 14 dBs. I'm gonna take out 14. Let's check how it sounds. With it. Now let me push the harmonics. Bypass. Yeah, you can feel straight away on the snare that the harmonics just pump. So let's check this depth. Yeah. You can really feel the distortion here. Of course, I'm pushing a lot the distortion on this one. The shape, I think if I'm going to the right side, it will sound brighter, and if I'm going to the left side, it sound duller. Let's check. Here we go. Yeah. Now let me try to make it sound better. Pushing back. Slowly. We bring this to 50. Okay, let's check in context.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Okay, so pardon. I think it sounds good the way it is now. Let me show you with the bass. Here we go. Drums and bass together. Actually, let me take out the drums. So I have already the plugin here. Let me bypass. Okay, let's go crazy a little bit here. Push this. 0, 50 by default. Comes like this, and 50 here. Okay, let's check. We can see straight away that it becomes louder. Here it's around minus 19 probably. And here it's, well, actually it's a little bit minus. And here is around, not 19, sorry guys, 18. Around 18. Yeah, but straight away you can feel the difference on the bass. So if we push the drive, of course it sounds louder. Let's bring back the level. when we push the harmonics, you can feel that the higher harmonics just sound, let's say, louder. You can hear more the higher frequencies content of the bass. Let's check depth. Sounds good. Well, and this shape will help definitely to cut more in the mix. Let's check.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Yeah.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Let me just push the overall level a little bit here, guys, without clipping.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms? There be a way
On now.
to turn back time?
Well, to my ears, it just sounds that the bass comes through the mix a bit more without sounding muddy and stuff like that. Another place that I want to show you is with the vocals. Okay, let me solo the voice, lead voice here. Okay,
Will we ever?
I have it on now. I'm gonna bypass.
Will we ever come back to
With
each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Okay, so let's go crazy here too. Gonna push the drive. 5 minus 5 roughly.
Will we ever come back to?
Okay, this depth is all the way to the right. Let's bring it down.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
When I push these harmonics, it sounds better to me.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Yeah, definitely. Sounds better.
Will we ever
Without.
come back to each other's arms?
Let me push the depth.
Will we ever come back to each other's
I'm
arms?
gonna bring it back. Sounds a little bit aggressive. With it all
Will
the way to the right.
we ever come back to each other's arms?
Okay, this is a bit tricky. Let's listen to it in context.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms? Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Okay, so when I put it on, I just think that the voice jumps a little bit more, just gets a bit more in a mix. It's not huge, the difference, but I think it's the sum of all those small little things that makes the difference in the end. It helps definitely. It's another plugin for saturation. It sounds good to my ears. It's not very expensive though. I think it's around $65, something like that. There is also a headroom button here, which, as you can see over here, increases the headroom if you need to go crazy with levels and stuff like that. Dry and wet, I think it works almost like a parallel compression. You just have a little bit of the dry if you want, mixed with a wet signal, or vice versa. Let me play once more, and I'm gonna bypass on the vocals.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Without.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Once more with it.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Without.
Will we ever come back to each other's arms?
Well, to me, just cuts a bit more and just gives that. I think it's not just about warmth. I wouldn't say it's warmth, but just makes it sound probably a little bit more expensive. Probably this sounds ridiculous anyway, but guys, I hope you liked it. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.